Welcome back to the Global Local Top Tips, and today one of my all-time favorites, apple and rhubarb crumble. This was a go-to dessert in my house when we were growing up, and my mother's recipe has not changed to this day. I'm going to show you my best recipe today. Let's get stuck in. First, the crumble. So the crumble is what it holds it all together, and for me, it's the favorite part of the dish. You can add in whatever fruit you want to the base, apples, rhubarb, pears, plums. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you want. With the crumble mix, you can add in nuts, oatmeal, so many different things. But I'm going to show you the basic mix for that crumble this morning. So into my bowl again, we've got some flour, and it doesn't matter what flour. It can be self-raising, plain flour. It won't make any difference. And to that, some butter. And I just want to break the butter up into the crumble. And just get your hands in there. Now again, you can make this up in a blender, but it's a small amount, and I think it's really good practice to use your hands with this one. Of course, making sure they're very, very clean, but it also helps the butter combine to the flour a little bit better. Just making sure there's not any big lumps of butter through there. That's really what you're going for, and you get this beautiful crumble effect all the way through. And that's it. To that, I want to add in my sugar. And just gently mix that through. And again, I'll put all the ingredients in the description below so you can refer back to it. So that's the crumble. Set it aside. Let's get our fruit done. Now, our fruit for this one is going to be apple and rhubarb. So, I've got my rhubarb here, and I've washed it, and I've just chopped it up. And that just goes into my bowl. And now I've got my apples. And I'm using a Granny Smith apple because it's got a tartness to it that I like, and it holds its shape quite well. So, slicing it all the way through. And I think the big mistake most people make with crumbles and with apple pies and rhubarb pies is that they pre-cook or pre-saute the fruit before they bake it, and it makes it so mushy. What you want to do is just put it all in raw, and then let all the juices combine whilst in the pot. The sugars will caramelize with the fruit. That crumble will bake on top. It'll all be sealed in there with that butter and sugar. And it's a magical mix when it's done right. And it's not complicated. It can be done well in advance. Put in the fridge uncooked, and then put into the oven later on, or cooked, and even frozen if you want to. Generally doesn't last that long. So just taking all that fruit off there. Now you could add cherries again. You could add in some dried fruit. You could add some nuts in here. It's endless. So I've got my earthenware dish, and I like this because it's good for presentation. It holds the heat well, but you could just as well use any baking tin. So I'm just going to give them a little mix around in there, and they go straight in. Now, sugar. And I want to put a little knob of butter in there, about 50 grams. And what this does, it just melts down, and it starts to steam the fruit, and it just helps start that cooking process. So when the butter melts, it'll start steaming up. The juice of the apples and the rhubarb will be joined, and then it'll start steaming in its own juices. It really, really does make a big difference. And now our crumble on the top. And you just want to just drop it in, and you know, you don't want to start patting it down. It's like it's just falling in there. And you can have a thin layer or a thick layer. It's completely up to what you want. Give it a little shake. Into the oven for an hour and 20 minutes at 180 Celsius. Now my apple and rhubarb crumble has had an hour and a half in the oven, and I've let it sit and rest at room temperature for at least an hour before I started cutting into it. It is going to be piping hot inside. As you can see, we've got a beautiful golden brown color on the top of the crumble, and as we break through the crust and get that steamed fruit in its own juices at the bottom, served with a little bit of cream, you're not going to get better than this one. So there you have it, my best recipe for apple and rhubarb crumble. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoy our videos and you'd like to support us in the future, please consider joining our Patreon group. There's some awesome extras, Q&A sessions, our upcoming cookbooks, and some unseen videos. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment down below any videos you'd like to see in the future. Hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon. And we'll see you soon.